I remember one time in 6th grade, I started trying to do my little singing, my little voice acrobatics. I was trying to sing at this state congress. I wanted to sing one of the lead parts, "To Jesus, you're the center of my joy." I had been working on my runs all day, and the choir director said that I could sing the lead, and then when we got there, he switched up on me. And I was like, that's not fair. So my grandmother, who was really, powerful in the state congress, she came marching in, and my grandson singing one of the leads. I get up there, and I'm singing my lead. I think I'm killing it. The further we get into the song, it starts getting into the vamp, you know what I'm saying? I noticed that I'm getting boxed out of the microphone from the other older lead singers. I sing my lead, I think I do okay, and afterwards, I go to my Auntie Betty, who's the director of the junior choir at our church. I was like, "Auntie Betty, how'd I do?" She's like, "You was off, baby. You was real off." So that was my first crash and burn. That kind of sent me into a space where I wanted to perfect my vocals. Gospel became the thing. It became my outlet. We moved from Milwaukee to Maryland. We had been trying to find a church home, and then we found this church called Antioch. Got there, fell in love with the church, and the youth pastor, Reverend Petty, he saw me and he was like, "What do you do?" I was like, "Well, I sing, I play piano." He was like, "Good, because we got a youth movement that we're doing. You be good for it." 9th grade year, it was the big assembly for all the schools, right? And the choir director was like, "Okay, well, I need to put a group of guys together to sing a song, just for a selection." I was like, "Well, I'll sing." And the other two guys were like, "Well, we're in a group outside of school, we'll sing with them." I was like, "All right, cool, so we're gonna sing together." I was like, "I got this song I wrote that could be kind of cool." They was like, "All right, teach it to us." So I teach them this song, it's called "You Are the Light." It's a gospel song. And so we learned this song or what have you, and then it's time for us to sing at the assembly. And so the first guy sings, he does his thing, other guy sings, he does his thing, and then I sing. And so, R&B back then, the falsetto was a big deal. I didn't know this, I'm singing gospel, right? So I'm doing my song, I go, "Ah!" I go to my little Howard Hewitt note, and the girls go crazy. And I'm like, what is that? This was a completely different feeling that I had never felt before in my life. And I was like, oh, this is it. This is the feeling. So at this time, I'm the minister of music at a church. I'm working this little job, and I got all these, things happening. I'm doing the church thing heavy. I got my group. Started another group called Psalm. We're traveling the country. We had been approached a few times to sing R&B. Virgin Records came to us when we were in 10th grade. It was like, "We think you guys would be a good group on our roster, to kind of be like our Boys to Men kind of thing." And we were like, "Nope, we sing for Jesus. No way, no how." And then I started going through things at the church, kind of seeing things for how they were. And I think I started asking some uncomfortable questions. And, my biggest thing was, I spend 5 days out of the week here. Why do I have to fight for $50 for 6 days of work? It just didn't make sense to me. Definitely not financially. A couple guys were like, "I'm telling you, man, you be dope at R&B like a young baby face Brian McKnight, but a little bit more street." I said, wow, if I'm gonna spend all this time doing music, I might as well be able to get paid for it. I said, maybe I should try this R&B thing. I get a call from my guys, he's like, "You ready to go on tour?" I was like, "Yeah, what are you talking about?" He's like, "You going on tour with Genuine and Leah?" What? So I give my job a 2 week notice. I leave in 2 days. I get out to LA, and Genuine walks in the rehearsal, and I'm sitting there playing the piano, whatever. Genuine goes, "You play piano?" I was like, "Yeah." He said, "I want to try and do something like this for my show." And that's how our relationship started building. And so we would, he would tell me musical things that he wanted to do, what he was feeling, and I would kind of like show the band what he wanted to do. And so we just started building from there. And we just started hanging out. Then he's like, "I'm gonna tell Aaliyah about you, watch." So he went and told Aaliyah, "I got the best background singers in the world." Aaliyah came to the rehearsal, was standing there in their shades and their cool outfits and everything. Heard a couple of her homegirls, and they was standing there watching us. And when I say we was singing our hearts out, and she was like, "They dope, they dope." A day later, I got a call, "Aaliyah's hiring you too." I was like, oh, come on. That tour, in a sense, was like a rites of passage or something. It was just a defining moment. All of the decisions that have led me to this point were made. Got signed to Blackground Records. And Maybe I Deserve dropped. 2001, everything changed again. It was no longer me supporting. It was the hit song I wrote and produced. I've been a church kid all the way to the left, knocking on doors, telling people to turn from their wicked ways. And I've been, one guy with 6 girls in a room. You know what I'm saying? I've been this guy as well. So for me, in order to understand true balance, you have to understand the end of both spectrums and come back and find your space, find where you belong. And it took me a minute. The options looked good and they felt good, but at the end of the day, they weren't all good. When we dropped the album in 2002, the one-man album didn't do as well as we thought it would do. Everything started to go downhill from there. It went from people paying me to come into their clubs, people, the security seeing me saying, y'all move out the way, Tank, come on. It went from that to, hold on, who you with? I'm like, you used to do security for me. You're not gonna let me in. And then when I would hang out with Jamie, I'd be like, I get to the club, or maybe get to the club a little early, and I'm like, yeah, we're going in here, but, I'm here with Jamie. And they'd be like this, well, you need to wait for Jamie. And I got robbed. All of that money and all of the women, all of the liquor, all of the everything, it didn't add up. I had to fight my way back. And that's when you started hearing songs like Oh by Marianne, Naked by Marcus Houston, Ruben Studdard, Kelly Rowland, the list goes on. And then Jamie called me one day. He was like, hey man, I'm down in Miami shooting some Miami Vice, man. I need you to come help me finish this album. I'm on the way. That album drops, does about close to 700,000 the first week. I'm back. When I say back, Lamborghini back. Drop that off. Yeah, I'll take that and one of those. And then, in the middle of all of this stuff happening, Harvey says to me, man, we should make a Tank album. My label ain't really messing with me at the time. I'm like, you gonna make a Tank album? He's like, yeah, let's just do it. I was like, all right, let's do it. Ends up being Sex, Love, and Pain. And then I'm back. Moved on from Blackground to Atlantic Records. Then came Now or Never. Then came This Is How I Feel. Then came Stronger, TGT. Then came Sex, Love, and Pain 2. And now we're here with Savage. It's a really cool position to be in, to be here close to 20 years later, and people still want to hear the music. People still want to hear what I have to say. People are still tuning in. I tell people all the time, everybody say this ain't R&B, ain't this, no matter this. It's just different. Everything changes, everything evolves. It's not gonna be the same. But for the people who are still connected to that element, it's my responsibility to keep the love in music alive, the passion in music, the sensuality, not just sexuality in music, because that's just what I was designed to do. Hey, what's going on? This is Tank, and listen, make sure you follow me. Go find me at The Real Tank on everything. Twitter, Instagram, The Real Tank on Facebook. All my snappers out there, TEEZY42, Teezy42, Savage.